Hi guys, my name's Nick, and today at the ABYC we're going to be talking about wire. We get a lot of questions from customers on the appropriate size and application for the wire that they're going to be using. So today we're going to be talking about tinned and non-tinned, aught and gauge. We're going to be talking about stranded and solid core wire. We're also going to be talking about making sure your connections are nice, tight, and clean, and the appropriate crimping tools and tools to make cables. So if you guys are ready, let's dive on in. Before you can know how to size wire, you first have to understand how wire is sized. A common issue we run into with our customers is that they're confusing gauge wire with aught wire. When we're talking about gauge wire, the size scaling starts at 0 or aught. As the diameter of the wire decreases, the number on the sizing scale goes up. For example, guys, this is 4 gauge wire right here. This is pretty thick wire, but if we increase the number on the sizing scale, the wire diameter gets smaller. For example, this here is 10 gauge wire. We went from 4 to 10. If we go up again, let's make a bigger jump to 18 gauge. You can see the diameter of the wire is extremely small now. You can also find the gauge of the wire or the size of the wire stamped on the insulation. On the other hand, when you're looking at aught, the higher the number on the sizing scale, the larger the diameter of the wire. So this is 1 aught wire compared to 4 aught wire. As we increase in the size of the wire, the diameter goes up as well. Now this is another issue, again, where the customer might get 4 gauge wire confused with 4 aught. And as you can see, there's an extreme difference here. This can pose an issue for the customer if they're trying to run a 3000 watt inverter on 4 gauge wire. They're going to have an issue with that. Alright, so the next thing we're going to talk about is there's 2 types of wire. There's stranded wire and there's solid core wire. In a marine application, there are strict rules and regulations that we have to follow as electricians, saying that we can only use stranded wires. Now in an RV application, there's not as many strict and stringent rules on what type of wire to use. So there's a possibility you'll see stranded and solid core wire. So this is stranded wire here. As you can see, it's multiple strands that make up one larger piece of wire. This makes it very flexible, very durable. You can move it, you can bend it, and this will help it maintain its integrity and structure. Compared to what I have here is a piece of solid core wire. It's not as malleable, it's a lot stiffer and more difficult to bend, and with enough movement, you can break it. Here at the Inverter Service Center, we deal in the marine and RV application and adhere to our own standard of only using stranded wire. This provides robust durability and long-lasting quality work for our customer. Alright guys, now we're going to talk about the difference between non-tinned wire and tinned wire. Non-tinned wire is a cheaper alternative, but will possibly leave yourself open for corrosion. If you're going to be using non-tinned wire in an environment where there's going to be moisture or poor ventilation for gassing of the batteries, there is a possibility that the wires can become corroded. Versus tinned wire, this is where they take the wire and dip each individual strand in tin. Then they wind the wire together and you have your cable. This is going to help prevent corrosion. This is the type of wire you'll probably want to use in an environment that you know there might be moisture or poor ventilation. At the end of the day, it's going to cost a little bit more, but it's going to last a lot longer. Thanks for watching, guys. Next time we'll talk about common issues our customers run into when sizing, making, and connecting wire. We'll see you next time.
Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this and to keep up with our newest jobs and projects at the Inverter Service Center.